Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
All right, Daniel, I think I turned you on here. I think the podcasting equipment is ramped up. Let me just check the settings.
Vox equipment.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think we're all set. Okay. All right. I guess we're recording. Let's get started.
Yes, here we go. Hi, everybody.
Hey, I'm Jay Jones. This is my co-explorer, Andrew Dickinger.
That's me.
And you're hearing all of this made possible by our Servo Skull companion, Daniel Fernandez.
Hi, I'm a servo skull. If you don't know what that is, I'm like a little floating skull, like with some robot parts.
Yeah.
And they added some new robot parts as this like big old microphone that's sort of floating on my head and some recording equipment.
Yeah, it makes it possible for us to actually record this podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess we should talk a little bit about if you're just listening to this kind of our where to start episode, where you should begin.
Yeah, welcome, by the way. Thank you. Thanks for downloading this. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, we've got two series you can kind of dive into
Yes.
that are chronicling our adventures. So we're actually currently recording our Wrath and Glory adventures right now, but we have this other series in season 1 called Dark Heresy. To talk a little bit about that, Wrath and Glory and Dark Heresy are two different systems.
Yes.
And we're using those systems to explain a little bit what happens in our adventures out here in the Grimdark.
Yeah. We're it is the 41st millennium. There is only war. Things are grim. Things are dark. There are space elves. There are space orcs. There are space demons. Pretty much a lot of fantasy stuff, but you put the word space in front of it.
Yeah.
And big guns and lots of death.
And if you're familiar with this crazy universe that we live in, the Warhammer 40k universe, then you're all set and ready to go. If not, we recorded one extra episode after this, all about the Warhammer 40,000 universe, so you can learn a little bit more about the, as we've described, wonderful and pleasant place it all is.
And we're trying to survive going through all of this.
Yeah, so it turns out the universe is very hostile with all of that was just said.
Yeah, and really, most of these recordings are just about you and I, Andrew, and Daniel just trying to survive all these crazy encounters.
Yes, so if you are starting with Wrath and Glory, we're acting as these sort of employees?
Yeah, we're employees.
For a rogue trader.
Now, we're very comparable, very brave, very talented.
Dashing.
Employees. Yes, dashing for sure.
And we're working for a rogue trader. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a trader in this universe that controls a ship the size of a city and basically can go and do whatever he pleases.
A space privateer, as someone once told me.
Yes, they work for the Empire. There's a big empire of humans.
Called the Imperium.
Yes, it's a whole thing. And that's what we're up to these days. But if you would like, you can listen to some of our earlier episodes, which were called Dark Heresy. That was a slightly different system that we were using, and that was telling the story of us, where we originally were working for an Inquisitor.
Yeah, and obviously we're not working for that Inquisitor anymore, and things have happened. Now, both shows do roll into each other narratively, but if you want to just dive right into Wrath and Glory, you can. You won't really lose much. But if you start all the way back at the beginning at Dark Heresy, you will hear our adventures from the beginning up to this point.
Yeah, you may occasionally hear us reference something that happened in the past, but you aren't required to listen to those.
Yeah, and also you should know if you do listen to Dark Heresy, you might hear us occasionally reference a chaos god of architecture. Yes, there is a 5th chaos god that we have somehow stumbled upon, named Gozer, but I'm sure that won't play into that adventure whatsoever.
No interest.
Yeah, and you guys used to be in a library or something. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, that's a different
podcast.
different recording. There isn't much you need to know going into Dark Heresy, and if you want to start fresh with Wrath and Glory, you can.
Yeah, I guess the thing you need to know is it's the 41st millennia and everything sucks. But besides that, it's pretty much just some fun adventures that we're going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real bright side there, Daniel. I mean,
come on, let's
it's
be honest.
It's grim, it's dark, and sometimes a combination of the two is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think we try to have a good time. I think compared to a lot of other grimdark stuff out there, we have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
We're seeing some parts of the galaxy that are less grim and dark, at least for a little bit.
And I mean, who cares about a few lost limbs here and there?
Yeah, and a few demons and a few orcs. And
Space orcs.
Space orcs, that's true. But, yeah, it's all good. Nothing bad happens to either of us.
Never.
But anyway, thanks. So you can either listen to Wrath and Glory if you don't want to listen to a million episodes, or you could start fresh right at the beginning with Dark Heresy. Both of them are a lot of fun, and we hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah. See you then.